Today I'm going to go over sleeving the Carve wiring with paracord that you can pick up at any big box store. Now when you get the paracord and you cut the ends, inside are some small cords that you can pull out, and which leaves the sleeve that you can slip over the wiring. Now when you slip the paracord over the wiring, you want to tape off or somehow get the ends to where they're not going to catch on the inside of the paracord. Any little thing can snag the inside of the threads on the paracord, and then you have to pull it all back out. You'll see here I had to do it a couple times before I got it to where it would slip through. Also, you don't want too much tape or whatever you use to where it gets too bulky, because then it'll be really hard to slip the paracord over the wiring. Now as you're slipping the paracord over the wiring, you kind of want to scrunch it up to where the diameter of the sleeve will get larger and easier to slip over the wiring, and that way you won't get as much snags and it's easier to put on the wiring. After you've gotten it all on, you'll go back through and stretch it all out to where the diameter of the paracord will shrink, and then it'll be nice and tight against the wiring. Now when you cut the ends of the paracord, especially in the larger diameter ones, the threads start unraveling, so you want to heat it up somehow to where the strands will kind of melt together so it doesn't unravel on you. And there's a couple of options you can do. You saw there that I started off with a lighter, and later on you'll see me using a heat gun. So you want to make sure that you do that for both ends so neither end unravels on you. Then you can slip over a piece of heat shrinks and heat that either with a lighter or a heat gun, whatever you have. You really want to be careful if you're using a lighter that you don't burn up your wiring or anything like you saw just a second ago where I was really close to the motor. You never want to leave it in one place. I kind of move it back and forth, and it's the same thing with the heat gun. You don't want to leave it there for any long period of time, start melting the wiring and all kinds of stuff. So just be careful when you're heating this stuff up. You don't want to stay in one place, and keep it moving. Now one thing you want to do, whether you already have your Carve wired up or just wiring it up, is to mark everything, especially the stepper motors and the limit switches if you have limit switches, so that you know what goes where. Because I know with my limit switches and my stepper motors, I sleeved all three of the motors into one sleeve and all three of my limit switches into one sleeve, and then you can't really follow your wiring to see what goes where. So make sure you mark everything, and it'll be easier for you when you plug everything back in. And right here you'll see what I'm talking about, getting it smooth so that the sleeve doesn't catch any of the wiring or anything like that, especially on this big stuff. I found this big stuff very hard. It's very easy to get it snagged inside the threads in that sleeve, so it took me quite a few tries on a lot of them just to get the ends of the wiring smooth enough to go all the way through this sleeving. So you'll see right here what I was talking about, bunching the paracord together to get the diameter to where it'll slip right over, and then I just slide it the rest of the way onto the wiring, and then at the very end, like I said before, I'll stretch it all out to where it fits nice and tight against the wiring. And then here, just the same process. You heat up the ends to where the threads don't unravel on you. You slip a piece of heat shrink over, you heat it up, don't stay too long in one place, and then you can just wire everything up. Now I put connectors on all my wiring to get better connection on my terminal blocks, and it also makes it look a lot cleaner. Now with me, I was trying to keep everything on the X-Carve black and red, kind of the theme of my shop, and the blue connectors were just kind of bugging me. So all I did was I stuck a piece of heat shrink over the blue section of the connectors and then heated it up. And you can use any color heat shrink to whatever color you want on these. I just went with black because the sleeving was red. So here's my X-Carve. All the sleeving and the connectors are all finished, and I think it looks amazing. So I hope that this video has helped inspire somebody or answered some questions that anybody has had about sleeving, wiring, and I would love to see some of your guys' ideas out there. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you can always send me pics of what you guys come up with. My email address, you can find that on the About page on my channel. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe.